Hi traders, good evening. Welcome to the new midweek analysis. Now, gold remains fundamentally bullish and you can extend your target. So, in today's video, I'm going to decode the charts and give you the new targets. Apart from gold, I'm going to cover a very interesting opportunity in New Zealand CHF. So, let's begin with our chart analysis. So, today I'm going to introduce FX Labs. So, FX Labs is basically our dashboard. So where you will find lot size calculator. So here on the top under tool section we have lot size calculator. We also have forex market time zone converter. Apart from that, you have quantum analysis. So quantum analysis is basically based on multiple indicators and it will give you a weighted score. So today I shortlisted New Zealand CHF for my trading and I have selected here. So you can click on the list of currency pairs. You will select your desired currency pair. So I've selected New Zealand CHF and we have two different options here. So first is swing trading. So for swing trading, the score is in the favor of buyers and it says overall 70% buy probability here. And for the short-term trading, we refer to intraday. And for intraday, the score is again bullish. So basically, our short-term setup and the swing trading setup, they are both aligned in the same direction. So based on the confluence taken from FX Labs, I moved to the charts and I started with my technical analysis. So I'll start my analysis on the weekly frame and I'm going to zoom out to the fullest so that I can have the full view of the entire technical pattern here. So based on the multi-year technical pattern, this currency pair, it's been in a massive bearish run. So this is the big move down, corrective move up. We got the next leg down, bounce up, and then it started creating a sequence of new lower highs and lower lows. So I'll apply my fib extension in the downward direction on the monthly frame, starting from the high of 2007. So I'll start from the high of 2007. This is to be taken as point A and connected to the low point, which is point B, and connecting back to point C here. So I can see here that this extends to the target of 0.4375, which is fib extension 100%. But at the same time, during the sequence of lower highs and lower lows, so starting from this level, we have a high, lower high, lower high, and lower high in continuation with lower lows. But I can see here that while printing the sequence of lower lows, the bearish momentum has started to fading out. So I can see a probability of bullish divergence here. I'm saying probability because it has not yet turned bullish and MACD lines are not yet in the bullish crossover mode. So we can see a probability, but one thing is clear that sellers are now exhausted. So I would like to switch to weekly frame now. And on the weekly frame, the divergence is completed. So when I'm comparing the lower low sequence here, I can see bullish divergence on MACD histogram. And based on divergence, I'm going to mark my break of structure level. So the buyers to reclaim the control, they need to break above 0.4940 and we are far from the BOS level. So when the breaker structure is pending, we have an alternative method of validation. So now I will apply a trend line in the downward direction. So I'll take the trend line from the top here and I'll connect to the BOS level. Now the falling trend line is not yet crossed. So basically, buyers they would come into the market for short term. So this could be a corrective bounce, not a permanent trend reversal. But one thing is clear based on weekly chart that buyers they are back in business. So now I'm switching to daily chart, and on the daily chart, the structure is in favor of buyers. So we got a new divergence here, lower low sequence with divergence on MACD lines and equal bottom on MACD histogram. And this time the buyers, they have completed the daily break of structure. So this is the BOS point, which is now completed. So BOS is done. So this gives us the opportunity to enter into a short-term buy setup. And our FX Labs meter is also showing the trend is bullish. So this is the impulsive move up and this is the corrective move down, which ends with divergence on its corrective move down. So I will apply fib retracement here, starting from the lowest to the highest on the daily frame, apply it, And now I will use ABC extension in the bullish direction. So this is our point A, starting point. This becomes point B, and this is point C now. So let's connect with fib extension. So I'm using extension in the bullish direction, applied here. And I will bring my vertical line on point C here. That's it. Now, if I zoom out, I will get to see the targets. So the first target is fib extension 0.618. The price level is 0.4672. So currently we are at 0.4601. So it gives you the probability to capture the upcoming 72 or 71 pips. And if the move gets extended, then it may run up to fib extension 100. And this would be the price level of 0.4740. So approximately 140 pips from the current level. Now I would move down to the next lower time frame, that is 4H. Now on the 4 hourly frame, the structure is bullish. So I can see here a massive bull run, impulsive move, corrective move down, and end of selling pressure. Then I get to see higher low sequence here and higher high pattern. Now during this last move up, I could see that buyers are exhausted here and there is a probability of downward correction, but the downward correction would be taken as an opportunity to buy. So I'm going to apply my next fib retracement in the bullish direction on the 4 hourly frame. So this is done, and I will highlight the zone of invalidation. So this is the zone of invalidation. In case if you see a daily closure below 85.4 fib retracement level, that is the level of 0.4570, then my bullish plan would be invalidated. Otherwise, any drop within this range is to be taken as an opportunity to buy. So let's assume that we're buying at the current market price. So I'm going to calculate my risk and reward in the long position. And my stop loss has to be below the zone of invalidation. And my target is fib extension 100. That is the price level of 0.4740. So if you aim for the fib extension 100 here, then we have an amazing risk to reward of 3.5 times. So this is the setup for New Zealand CHF. Now I'll take you to gold. Now let's go to FX Labs one more time. And I'm going to change the instrument to gold here. So instead of New Zealand CHF, I will scroll down and select gold. Applied and swing trading mode. So in swing trading mode, the score is extremely bullish in favor of buyers, 81% probability for buyers. And for intraday, again, the score is slightly less, but still in favor of buyers. So 62% probability of buying here. Now let's go and validate the chart setup here. So I've selected XAUUSD. I'm not moving to monthly frame. I'm starting from weekly here. I need to reset the view. And on the basis of weekly pattern, the structure is extremely bullish. I can see here continuation in the bullish direction. So this is the base, then higher low, and higher low in conjunction with higher high sequence. And the current price is higher than the previous high. And there is no damage to MACD histogram, basically no dent. So there is no divergence and it is expected to remain bullish. Now I'll be switching to daily frame. Now on the daily frame, I'll start from the low point here. So this is the first low point. So we can mark a vertical line here. This is our starting point. And I'm converting my line chart into candles chart. And I'm applying fib retracement, but in the reverse direction to get the extended levels. So this is applied on candle basis. And if you notice here, when gold created a new high above this level, that is the price level of 4380, it went exactly to 138%, and then it dropped for the corrective move down, and the correction ends exactly within the strong zone of 78 to 85. So let's highlight the area between 78 to 85 as our new base now. So this is the zone of support, and we can apply our vertical line here. Now this is our daily structure, and I do not see any signs against. I can see continuation higher high sequence here, and MACD is also building up the bullish momentum. So no damage to the bullish structure, and I'm switching to 4 hourly frame here. Now starting from the base, that is the highlighted green zone, I'm going to apply my first extension in the bullish direction. Now I'm switching back to line chart here, and I'm using my first extension here. So this is the base, so point A. This is our point B, and this is point C. I'm going to apply extension. 1 second. Extension applied, changing the color to green, and adding the vertical line at point C here. So currently gold is at fib extension 100%. That is the price level of 4623. So in my weekly video, I've mentioned the target of 4621 to 4628, and we have achieved that target. And currently gold is hovering, basically not moving down. It's just hovering, means consolidating around this fib resistance level. And in case if we see some drop, it might go back to the previous fib extension level of 0.618, that is 4550, and then continuation higher. Now I can see some drop in momentum on the 4 hourly frame. So it has created higher high sequence, but with less momentum here. So drop in momentum. So this brings the probability of short-term correction here. So in order to measure the short-term correction, I'm going to apply fib retracement from this low to the current high here. So let's apply. So now I'm starting my fib retracement from the level of 4432 to the current high. Now, unless gold breaks below 78 to 85. So this is the strongest fib level. So this is the zone of invalidation. So unless we see a daily closure below 4461, the view remains bullish. And I'm gonna zoom out and look for the next target here. So once it completes the corrective move down, that could be a shallow retracement or some sideways consolidation, maybe a ranging pattern here. And then the next rally comes back. And the next extension level is 1.618. In terms of price, my target would be 4742, followed by 4818. So in short, unless gold breaks below and closes below 4461, the next target is 4742 and 4815. Now I'm switching to the next lower time frame, that is 1 hourly chart. Now starting from the vertical line, we have the latest 1 hourly structure here. So this is the starting point A, and this can be taken as point B, but this is now invalidated with the new high. So I would extend until this area. And we have already applied fib retracement, and I can see signs of exhaustion here. So divergence is printed, and a short-term drop is highly probable. So the first support zone would be 4589. In case if it enters into a deeper correction, which is a very high probability now on the lower time frame only. So the next level of correction would be 4559. And ultimately, I'm expecting a bounce from 4550. In case if you see a failure at 4550, then it would enter into a deeper retracement towards 4510, and ultimate level will be 4475. So I'm not worried about the drop here. I'm not entering into a short setup. I'll be patiently waiting and accumulating my buy orders, and I would be targeting 4740 as the next target. So this is my plan, and I'll be back with my weekly video on Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.